It's your deck profile.
Welcome to the losing deck profile.
Oh, the loser.
We've talked a lot about this deck. By no means did I expect to win this game.
Yeah, I don't know if it's at the end of the video, but you specifically, I can't remember where I cut the end of the video for when I edited it, but you're specifically like, I hope you feel good about yourself.
I don't know if I made it in or not, but I'm really excited for this deck. I've always liked ShineGreymon, but I'm really excited for what's coming up. I wanted to try to make a current version with what we had, so we're going with this. There's already things just from the playtesting that we've done that we want to edit, and one of them, ironically, is the eggs, I think. We run 4 of the BT-9 one for the DP boost. If it's an Agumon or a Greymon in the name, it's for, you know, trying to get over big bodies. But I've realized more that I wish it was the BT-5 one, which we talked about before. I think the deck really needs some draw power.
Yeah.
And I think that this is something I would change. Recently, unfortunately, they've jumped up in price. So if you don't have your BT-5 Coromons, they're a little bit more expensive. But that's kind of where I'm at on that one. So that would be one thing I change.
I do agree. I think that change probably would help the deck.
Yeah.
I think in reality that you think the DP boost is great for this deck, but if you need to remove a body, most likely your boss monster is going to remove the body.
Right. Which we didn't get any gameplay of it, but we'll see why. Especially like we played a game after we recorded that, and it made me even realize more that I just didn't need. I don't need it, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. The next one is the new BT-12 rookie. Is the yellow-red one. I really like this card for multiple reasons. 2,000, 3 cost, whatever. 1 on a yellow red doesn't really matter. You get the Digivolve for 0 on a Coromon. It is your best searcher in the deck. Greymon in the name, and a Marcus, which is what you want.
And it's top 4, correct?
It is top 4, yes.
So that's like, I mean, I think that's
like a red mid boost. Yeah, it's like a red mid boost, right? So, and you're having 2, at least, right?
Yep.
I facilitated my deck around that concept too, whereas others versions I don't think do that as much, but we'll talk about that too. It's inheritable, has come in a lot more in handy than I expected it to. By when you use Suspend a Tamer, you can give -2 to one of your Digimon, which is stacked on to the Geogreymon, which we'll get to a little bit. Floodgates is the big reason, I think, why you want to run that, but also I think you're able to delete like 4Ks and 6Ks, so it's a really good... It
stacks well.
Yeah, it's a really good option. Now, as far as the other Agumons, we don't have a lot of great options. I think a lot of people are on the promo one for obvious reasons, but
It's DP boost, but I think you're right here.
I really like this one, the starter deck one. It's when attacking, if this Digimon attacks a player, it gains 2,000 DP for the turn. It's not once per turn, so if you are able to unsuspend it and go again and again, there's that if you can do it. But the problem is you really want the inheritable, or I'm sorry, the trait Dinosaur.
I just love how in Beda's mind, this man has a belt on his hand and he's now a dinosaur.
Yes. It's weird. I don't really get it, but we're here, you know? So there's that. Definitely, I think one of the better Agumons. It's the one that you want to play in the back if you can. But it's still really, really good. So there's that.
More reason you don't need the egg, right?
More reason, right? Negative DP to something, 2,000 attacking. Don't need the egg.
Yeah, we're getting over what most likely we're going to get over.
The next one seems kind of back and forth on it.
It's a $3 uncommon.
That is your Agumon X antibodies. I'm not good with these. They're good. I just don't play very well with them, I think, as we've seen.
Yeah, there's recorded proof.
Yeah. On play when Digivolve, I don't know what this card does. You get to grab a Greymon, or you look at the top 3, got a Greymon, or Omnimon in the name, and an X antibody. Obviously, there's a bunch of Greymons, and we do facilitate 1 Omnimon for if we need it. Obviously, we're not grabbing X antibodies.
Yeah.
Hard play search if you need a Greymon.
Free draw.
Free draw on Digivolve.
Free draw search.
Play it on the back. You know, it's got its capabilities. It might be the one I change for when EX4 comes out, but I
you get more.
Yeah.
I don't think you change it, but
we disagree. I don't know. It's just gonna be one of those things where we have to play test it.
Yeah, definitely play test. I feel like that card is. The fact you can go in there for 0 to me is like.
I mean, going in there for 0 is really good, but I also don't. I can't sit here and think of what the EX4 does as well. I just know it looks.
We'll talk about it in the next episode.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it in the EX4 profile.
Speaking
of the red hybrid.
Okay. And now looking at the new Geogreymon. This has got the effect that similarly, there's another card that does this in Gallantmon. The new Growlmon does the same thing. 3 on a yellow or red, 5 to play, 5k. But with specifically why we ran the specific type of Agumons is because this Digivolves for 2 on a level 3 with Agumon, but it has to have that dinosaur trait.
Yeah.
So they're very, very specific. When Digivolving, if you don't have a Marcus in play, you can play a Marcus from your hand without paying its memory cost. Very important.
Yep.
You want your Marcuses. Same inheritable as Agumon, so it gets a -2, so it's total -4. Great, awesome. That's what you want to see. Gets rid of floodgates and whatever level 4s that are at 4K if needed, or it helps with later plays in your level 6s that we'll see. Now, because of our level 5s, we got to be really careful about what we play here. So our next best option is the nice starter deck ShineGreymon.
It's supposed to be sick.
That I don't have 4 of.
Yeah.
I thought I had 4 of, but I don't. So
That's
I've only got
embarrassing.
3. That's why this one's hidden a little bit. We're just gonna pretend like it's not there. But we have
You are
4.
playing 4, huh?
I
Okay.
do play 4 of them.
Yeah.
I just think it's the better one to hit.
It's just so good.
I mean, there's been plenty of times where you hit out of security. 4K, I keep thinking it's 6 for whatever reason when I play, but
Yeah.
but it hits a 4K, which is once again floodgates or anything like that. But also, more importantly, it plays a ShineGreymon out of security for your Marcuses.
Yep.
Which we'll talk about why that's important later. But once again, it's free.
And it's a free body.
It's
I think
a free body.
Free bodies are free bodies as security, man. I love them.
Now, these next ones are, I would say, flex slots. And I really like one of them. I don't like the other one as much. I run one of the BT-12 ShineGreymon. Similarly because of this other one, but it's Digiburst 2, delete one of your opponent's 4Ks.
It's mostly just a Geo, though.
But it's mostly just a Geo.
Yeah.
So it's there to facilitate that, but I don't think I want more than maybe 2.
I don't even know if I want the 1.
It comes in handy every once in a
I'm
while.
sure, yeah.
But, and then I, for some reason, run one of a Goonie.
I think this is a great option. I think you mentioned before this you wanted to cut it.
I think I go back and forth on cutting it or not.
I would not cut that card.
Maybe not. I go back and forth just because my tamers already punch people in the face. So Digivolving my tamer that can already do that into a Digimon that can do that.
There are other tamers, though.
But there's other tamers that I can facilitate this with. And also I got this really nice pretty version that I want to run in something. So there is that.
You only got one of it, thankfully.
Yeah.
If you run 2, that'd make me sick, though.
All right, moving on to level 5s. This one we've talked about before. The red ShineGreymon from BT-4. The oh-so-elusive $20 ShineGreymon that was running around.
$1.50 nowadays, I think.
I think it's like $3, yeah.
Yeah,
it's very...
wait till you get some that's
once
that
it-
regional
once that
rebrand.
regional hits. I think we all know what this does. It's also yellow on your turn. Digivolves for 3 on a red or yellow. Digiburst 2, and you can play a red or yellow tamer for 4 or less from your hand. And it also has, if you have a tamer in play, when attacking, one of your opponent's Digimon gets -2. So that's now 2, 4, 6 from that one line.
Yeah, that one swing is just getting.
It's going to hurt, and if it doesn't, we'll round it off with level 6s later.
I think also there's another one that you could talk about. You talked about the other one, give plus 2,000. This is also not a once per turn because this is old Digimon.
Yeah. So if I have a full line, which there's ways I can get there higher, it's pretty good, especially with the Aguex. I think that really helps the Aguex with this effect. So
I'm with you too.
I think this is a really good. I go back and forth with the yellow because the yellow is more aggro with the security tag +1. But this plays a tamer for free, which you want your tamers, because and Marcuses are 4. Every tamer around here is 4.
The other one plays tamer for free.
The yellow one does, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, we have that option. So it's just I go back and forth.
I think the best thing for this one is it's one if you're gonna play an Ultra Count format, it's red, so that's 6
It
years
is
color.
red, yeah.
But I think the -2,000 can be your biggest benefit to that card.
Yeah,
So.
the -2 adds up. Yeah. I mean, as we'll see.
On top of going on a red or a yellow, so
that is true.
You
It
can
can
go on
go
top
red.
of a Naguni,
Right.
where the other one could not go on top of a Naguni.
True.
If you had to.
That is true. The next card I want to talk about is the new ShineGreymon.
God, I hate this card.
I love this card, which is
card so
for good
much.
reason. It's a good card, right? Digivolve for 3 on a ShineGreymon. That's why we run as many ShineGreymons as we can.
All the Geos.
Otherwise, it's 4. When Digivolving, if you have a yellow or red tamer, you get a memory. So it already, pluses itself. So
That's what annoys me about it.
what?
It's for 2, technically.
It says the green player that lost his Blossomon for free. It's 0.
It's different. We don't have good cards.
But yeah, so it's now technically a possibility of a 2-cost level 5, which facilitates a lot later. I'm going to grab one of these to showcase later, but that we'll need. But it also, one of the best things about it is the alterns effect. When one of my tamers is deleted, I can place a Marcus from my trash on top of my security stack face down. And then subsequently, it also has the same inheritable, which is very important with how Marcus runs, which we'll talk about here in a little bit.
And I think it's not really happened because when I've come off Black War Gray and we haven't done much testing with Black War Gray,
Right.
but like a Black War Greymon hitting your tamers,
Yeah.
now like doesn't feel as powerful if you had this Digimon.
Right, because I'm just like, cool, you deleted 2, I'll put 1 on top.
Your tamer-based deck, or partial tamer-based
Yeah.
deck that now has a little tamer protection,
Yeah,
which is good.
which is great. I love that. That's one big thing I would complain about the most with that. Next, we'll talk about Rise X. I was really hyped up on this card. I like this card a lot.
Pause.
Okay. Rise X. Rise X
That
is.
sneeze almost killed me.
This is a really good card. I really wish I felt better
Oh,
about.
that's gross.
What, the pre-release
Only
one?
one.
They're $30 now. Wish I got them when they were $5.
Ew.
Yeah. So, this is a really good card. I wish I could make room to run more, but I think you want a little bit of the split just to help facilitate it. But when Digivolve it? First off, you can Digivolve it for 1 on a ShineGreymon or 4 on any level of 4.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. When Digivolve, I can play a yellow or red tamer card from your hand without paying its memory cost. Great. That's what we want. If there is a ShineGreymon or X anybody, which there's not any X anybody's, and this Digivolution card, when your opponent's Digimon gets -2 for every red or yellow tamer.
Yep.
So with that -6 on the swing, we now have more negatives to it based on how many tamers. So we're just going and going and going. But also your turn your turn for each tamer you have in play gets 1,000 DP. It's really there for mostly just to play a tamer, but it's also it can add up. It's good removal and it can add up. Like talking about in the previous deck profile with the Goonimon and the like how big a Greymon can get. This ShineGreymon can get pretty big if you have a bunch of your tamers out.
On top of, I don't think it was a specific gameplay we played, but a game after that where you killed, I can't remember, you killed something really big by between the negative DP here, swinging in security, and getting all the negatives from the stack.
Yes.
Too.
Yeah,
so you still got to check something and remove a pretty decent
I think it was a level 6 if I remember.
I think it might have been, or level 5 or something.
Something like that.
It was a decent sized Digimon that you had to have exactly that great kill. So.
Talking about the big boss monster and why the negative DP is so important, and this card is so good. I love this card.
This card's great.
Is the BT-12 ShineGreymon.
It's so good.
It's so good.
So good.
3 on top of a ShineGreymon, 4 on anything else for red or yellow. When Digivolving for each yellow or red tamer you have in play, one of your opponent's Digimon and all of your opponent's security Digimon get -3,000 DP for the turn, which has been a crazy killing spree before, and makes it to where security is almost obsolete if you have it set up correctly. Your turn, all of your Marcus Daemons gets +3,000 DP and security attack +1. That's the big effect.
Yep.
That's what you want.
And this card just gets better and better as that goes, right?
Yeah, as every set that we go forward, it just gets better. With Ruin Mode, we get a new ShineGreymon in BT-13, as well as Burst Mode in BT-13. So, like, this deck just gets more and more.
Good card gets better.
Good card gets better.
Yeah.
Great card. Love that card. Very important for the deck. Now, this one I go back and forth on, and I've actually reread some cards, and I remember why I run this one particularly. I run with the 1 of yellow ShineGreymon.
Sure.
This is just a control option. I can suspend tamers to give something -4. It's just another ShineGreymon that I can go into if I need it for a 5th one, because I feel like I needed more than 4, and having this one option as a control was really good. Now, it's yellow, so if you were trying to run this deck in a Ultimate Cup format and you want the red, which I think the red is probably better.
What do you think the red version is? Better?
You could just replace this with the other BT-4 red version, which is more aggro. I think it's BT-3. I don't remember.
4. I don't know. Yeah, it's
an old one.
Big security boy.
Yeah, it's like for every
I think it's tamer you have.
every tamer you have, it gets security attack +1,
Yeah.
or something like that, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You really just pop off.
Really just go nuts.
Yeah.
But I like this one, and and the reason I run this is for the tamer count, which we'll talk about here in a second. And then I run the 1 of Merciful Mode because it's a good card.
If you were playing Ultimate Cup, what would you change this out for?
That's a good question. I think, honestly, I would do a Gravity Crush.
I think it's probably a good option, yeah.
I think a Gravity Crush can really...
I think we've seen with gameplay that the tamers you're going to talk about, like sometimes you...
the 2 extra memory could be really good.
Yeah.
But this one facilitates a lot of counterplay. Deleting a Digimon in general, great.
Good.
Cool. Awesome.
Removal's great.
Removal's great. Putting 10 to the bottom can help a lot of decks out. Obviously, Beelzemon can affect if you do it correctly. Yep. It can affect, we've now learned from the previous deck profile, it can probably affect your red hybrid decks.
100%, yep.
100 decks it can affect.
Yep.
So it's got a lot of leeway with it, but also at the start of your turn, if it lives, it can, you trash the top of it, so you trash it, and then you trash the top security card of your opponent's stack.
Then you're back to your
And then you're back to your ShineGreymon that you can then promote your Marcuses up and swing for 2 checks. So
it's a 1 turn, let me fix the problem, and then let guy come back on stage.
Let's see if we can do. Let's see what we can do in 1 turn.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, the star of the show.
The card that will soon be banned.
I hope not. I think
limit to 1 Bandai.
If this card gets limited to 1, I don't think the deck's playable.
You're safe. I'm not playing this deck.
Fair. This is the BT-12 Marcus. This is a crazy card, and this facilitates the whole deck. This deck can't run without this.
The part about this card I hate before you go into it is I feel like especially when we first started playing, every time you picked it up and did something with it, I'm like, what do you mean it has extra text on it?
Yeah.
Like, this card has so much text.
It does got a lot
like
of
a
text.
Yu-Gi-Oh card over here.
Yeah. And so you play it for 4. It's red, yellow, which is great for our options that we play. Start of your main phase. If you have a Digimon with Agumon or Greymon on its name by in play, you can by paying 1 memory for the turn. This tamer is also treated as a 3000 DP Digimon that cannot Digivolve.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good, right? 3000. It's not a lot. It's fine though. We don't really care about that.
Fine.
Your turn. This is the big part. Your turn when this tamer becomes suspended, one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a yellow card.
Stop.
With Greymon in its name.
Stop.
From your hand without paying its cost. Without paying its cost.
I hate that freaking effect.
It's crazy. It's crazy, and I'm gonna leave this over here because we're gonna reference this back quite a bit. So we're just gonna leave that there for now. The other 4 tamers that I run, once again because of the new Agumon, I'm running 4 of the old Marcus, which I think people kind of run other versions. I think some people run the tie, which is okay. It's a security attack.
I think you could go to like 1 or 2 of these.
Maybe
You wouldn't feel the
it's
worst about
fine.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it because I now have 8 Marcuses I can pick up, and also there's been time. This is memory setter, which is great. You want the deck because you want a lot of these. These cost memory, so it sets you to 3. If I have this out and 3 of these Marcuses out, I can pay 3 memory, go to 0, and go up into from a level 3 all the way up to a level 6.
Yeah, I don't know if it was showcased in the gameplay specifically, but on our personal testing, there have been games where it's just been like, that 2 memory is exactly what you needed to get you to something else.
Because it's also 2 checks.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a 2 checks. But also when you swing with the ShineGreymon, or I'm sorry, with something with Greymon in its name, other than like Doro Gray, Burning Gray, or Dex Doro Gray, suspend him to gain a memory, which had not in the video, but through playtesting has come up.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that literally the game we played after that off camera,
I think it mattered.
I think I swung a Marcus. You played an Ice Wall. I went to 3 because of him.
Yes.
I played 3 because of him. So I had the ShineGreymon. No, I had the Rise Greymon.
I had to put the Galgog deck.
Yes, you played the Galgamon, and I swung the Marcus. Digivolve into the ShineGreymon, so check 2 checks. I lost 2 memory. I swung the ShineGreymon. I had 2 Marcuses. I tapped them to gain 2 memory, so it counteracted the Ice Wall.
Yep.
And then I swung with the last Marcus to win the game.
Yep, 100%.
So like this, it's good, and like
it kind of like the way you're talking. It not guarantees it. It like really facilitates your idea of 4 is good because it's memory is memory, and in this game, as we know, memory and extension is the key to success.
I think I'd rather have the memory gain off of swing than a security attack because I'm not really caring too much about that.
Yeah.
So those I just really like. What would a deck be? What would a red yellow deck be without 2 Tainkari?
Bad.
It's a great card. It's the memory extender, which is something the deck needs. The deck, it does suffer with being slow, so most of the time I will go down to 3 security pretty quickly, but it's also quick enough to when it gets its wheels going that I can get my opponent down to 3 security very quick, so it works.
And you're playing a lot of tamers, so like sometimes getting wheeled down to 3 puts this on the board for you, which then extends.
Yeah, which is great. It's just a good card. Also, lower security for if for some reason we're on a turn where the ShineGreymon effect isn't in play and we know our Marcus is alive, -2 to the security stack for our 3K or 6K depending.
It's very good.
Is pretty good.
Also, a Goonie goes on top of it.
A Goonie can go on top of it. That's the only thing I don't like about go back and forth with the Goonie is all these tamers get tapped at some point.
They can, but they don't have to.
I don't have to tap them, but they potentially could.
That's one thing I will say, like from our testing, I feel like you tap those Tainkari way too much.
Probably, but they're also there for that reason.
There was one game I remember you like had negative I think 12 to the stack.
And I tapped a Tainkari.
And you tapped a Tainkari. I'm like, cool. I think I was playing 100. I remember I was playing like there's like 1 card. It's like nice too.
Going back to the options, this is another card I've thought about, but I think it might just be a little too much. Shining Blast.
Yeah.
I do like this card a lot.
I think it's good.
I think it's good, and I think it gets better with the more Marcuses we have and stuff like that. So
it's more reasons to like keep your 4 of.
To keep my 4 Marcuses of the other one. I really like this one. You can play a Marcus for free from your hands without paying its cost, and then for each yellow and or red tamer you have in play, 3 of your opponent's Digimon gets -2.
It's good.
It's a nerfed version of a Sunrise Buster, but it's still pretty good in the deck. But
it's not bad.
It's not bad, and it really helps sometimes.
I will say the 2 cost the -2 that's I think we've seen in a couple of our games.
Yeah.
Like like
Wish
you didn't realize how much the one extra DP
can make a difference.
From Sunrise.
Yeah.
Also, a good reason why this card got banned.
Yeah. Speaking of the one card that got banned, we have to run a one of Sunrise Buster.
Man, you imagine this deck if you had 4 of these.
Buddy, you see that ShineGreymon in there? There's no way I would run 4 of these.
Yeah.
This thing would be crazy. If I could play Marcus's for free and then give something -3 for each one of them, yeah. Because then I have a single target one and a multi-target one.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I'm set. I would not feel bad at all running 4 of these.
My yellow hybrid deck would also like to have all 4 of those back, so
I'm sure it would.
Jets will be nothing wrong. I'll ban everything.
Yeah. Right. Last card.
Another limited card.
Another limited card. We're in yellow. Might as well.
Gotta play all the good cards.
Also, this is just good, right? In this deck specifically, for some reason, if I could go to the top 2 and I'm running into like something like this, right here, this is going to hand, this is going to security, any day of the week. Like,
is this one of those other cards for Ultimate Cup you would trade out for?
Probably Gravity Crush.
Gravity Crush here.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Just because I think it's just, I think the extra 2 memory can come in handy.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I had a great idea in my head, but I remembered yellow, so I don't want to say it. I was like, Hollywood would be cool if it's yellow.
Yeah. But like the combos here, obviously, like the deck underperforms because it's slow, right?
And you're having to play like shitty GeoGreymons, as we talked about.
Right. We don't have like great GeoGreymons. We don't got anything like that. But like obviously, what we really want is a Marcus, as many Marcuses as we can. Have like an Agumon or GeoGreymon. We swing with our Marcus. It immediately lets us Digivolve into a ShineGreymon for 0. With the effect of it, we gain a memory. So we've just netted 1 memory.
And we gain protection.
Yeah, and I gain protection. For some reason, which is happening a lot, where if I swing this and it gets into security with its on the field, cool, it dies, I go to put it in the security stack.
Yep.
And then it's
and
time.
you should redo the whole thing again if they swing into
Right, and then if I want to have another Marcus, obviously, then we swing again, and then we just go into the ShineGreymon. It now checks 2 security, and I've killed probably something on the board. And Marcuses, they're not dying.
Yeah.
This deck is fun. It's not great.
It's definitely like that tier, like 2, 1.5.
Yeah, I think it could be. I think under the right pilot, I think it could very easily be a 1.5.
And it high rolls. I mean, there's those games.
High
roll. The thing that drives me nuts about this deck specifically is the amount of times you have. I felt so great because you had a rookie in the back, and you go from that Agumon because you have 3 of these Marcuses or 2 of them. Straight to a Shine, and I'm like, great. I'd set up to beat a rookie, and now I'm fighting a horde of men punching my Digimon.
Yeah,
so.
which I think, like, as far as flavor goes, like, this is such a
flavorful.
Cool card.
It's so flavorful.
Like, literally started watching this series not that long ago, and like, he Digivolves by punching. So the fact that I'm able to Digivolve by punching is...
He's also in the Mills, ain't he?
Huh?
He's like really, isn't it Mills or something?
I don't think so.
No. Maybe that was a fan theory. I don't know.
Wait, what? He's in... Oh,
he's
no.
in the Mills?
No, that's Thomas.
Oh.
Thomas.
My deck. Awesome.
Your deck.
My
yeah.
man.
Thomas is into, I think, Marcus's mom. Yeah.
There's a reason I play this.
Like, and that happens, like, early, like, episode, like, 6, I think.
It makes sense because I'm into your mom. What's up, Lisa?
Okay, all